Day 16. Gonna try a little experiment today, just to see if this is actually the case. But I've been saying I kind of long suspected that some of my troubles with the southeast have been um, due to kind of me not quite getting the kind of U-shaped curve at the top border quite right, and for that matter, all the east to west borders in the middle of the country. So I'm gonna try doing it with the Robinson projection, basically every border straight across, and just see what happens. So maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Let's get to it though. My pen's gonna run out of ink soon, maybe. Okay, so Washington. So something I learned actually just by looking kind of at the Pacific Northwest a little bit more. Is that the Washington border is actually not perfectly straight here either. It has like it does kind of come up, but then actually there is a straight across section for a little bit, and then it actually kind of juts out a little bit for Oregon. Oregon does not kind of meet the Washington border at a right angle. It kind of there's a little bit of like a it's a little bit of a piece that sticks out there. So here we go. This might be a little Squashington, but we're gonna roll with it here. Okay, some Nevada. Hopefully Idaho doesn't get too fat here. That's not too bad. It's pretty good actually. Okay, and then from just a recent studying of Idaho, this goes about a third of the way across the state, that part. This part here goes a little more than a third, actually. And that part actually goes a little, takes up the rest, obviously, so. Okay, Wyoming, gonna be about, let's see. Utah's about 3 to 2 here, so like it's gonna end up being right about there. And then this Nachi part is also about 3 to 2 across to down, so let's put it right about there. Okay, Wyoming is kind of like that. Okay, then again, Utah's about Wyoming on its side, so let's see here. Let's do Colorado here. We'll call it about there. I can deal with it if it's a little too long. I can't deal with it as easily if it's too short, so we're gonna do that. Okay, 4 corners there. That's about right. Kind of eyeball a 45-degree angle here. Okay, California gets kind of slightly wider, and then down here, right where the Nevada tip kind of comes in, there's that cape that kind of comes out like that. I'll join it. And that looks pretty ugly. I've really got to get that Southern California coast a little better. Ugly as sin. Okay, a little New Mexico action there. And again, the Texas Panhandle, not as wide as you think it is. It's probably about right, actually. And we'll go halfway down this border here. The Texas Panhandle does not reach that, so that. It's gonna look pretty narrow, but that's okay. Okay, so Nebraska goes like halfway up Wyoming, actually, which was surprising to me. And then about half that distance down Colorado, so like that. So that's what Nebraska kind of looks like there. And then we're gonna go, let's see, half of Wyoming and half of Montana, and then half of that. So it's like that for the Dakotas. Okay, not bad. Okay, not a bad start for the Pacific Northwest and the kind of the western part of the country there. Okay, and then we're gonna go 3 panhandles across for Oklahoma. 3 Texas panhandles. So 1, there's 2. Then we'll call that 3. It's not quite that wide, so it's like there. Okay, go all the way across. And then it kind of does that, and then drops basically straight down. Okay, Red River kind of does something fun for a little bit. Okay, there's the Texas jug handle. Okay, and then the little pizza slice at the bottom there that we're gonna try to figure out here in a sec. Okay, let's see if we can make sure this gets the right height on it though here. So Arkansas doesn't have much of it there, but Texas does jut into it a little bit. Okay, there's Louisiana. Texas kind of pushes into Louisiana a little bit before it comes back over. Okay, that's actually gonna be pretty good, I think. We'll see. Okay, it's like 3/4 of the way across Texas is where this kind of bottoms out. I'm trying to eyeball this a little bit, and I always don't quite get it right. I gotta figure out some other kind of like geometry to figure it out where the southern point of Texas actually ends up. Because like I'm pretty happy with this upper part here, but I gotta kind of work on where this lower part goes. I end up usually eyeballing it and then not being happy about it. So we'll try that. And it does double back on itself a little bit, but there we go. Okay. I think it was a little too high up, but it's not too bad actually. This usually ends up way too thick. So all things considered, that's not bad. Okay, let's see. Louisiana border kind of does that. We're gonna work on that later. Okay, this goes up about 2/3 of the way up Kansas here, so it's like yay high. And then Kansas kind of does that number for Missouri there. Straight across. And then Nebraska kind of tapers in. And then This goes about 2/3 of the way across the state, so like, yeah, we'll say that. And then kind of drops down and does that. Okay, Nebraska, that's a little too narrow probably. I think these states are all a little too narrow, but we're gonna figure out why later. Okay, and then Iowa kind of comes up to there. South Dakota's pretty straight until it gets close to the top of it. And then Minnesota kind of butts into North Dakota. I think there's like a river there or something, but okay, go straight across here. Alright, South Dakota. A little too high, but you live, you learn. What are you gonna do? Okay, Iowa ends up right about there, maybe. I'm gonna make sure I give Minnesota the right like height and thickness too. I think that's pretty close. Okay, I think I finally gave Missouri basically the correct angle there. And actually, if you extend it, like if you extend it past the boot heel here, Missouri's basically a square shape. So like the southern width of it, and then like the total height is about the same. Actually, it's just that it's kind of slanted. So we're gonna try to make that happen. So it's like gonna be like right about there, maybe. So Arkansas may end up a little wide today, but or maybe not. Actually, that's not too bad. Okay, that might be the best Iowa I've drawn in a bit, so we'll see if we can manage to not blow it. Go to Illinois there. It's all just a little wider there, maybe. And then it kind of, Arkansas kind of turns like that. Okay, let's see. About a third of the way across the state, and basically at a net 45-degree angle. Kind of Minnesota kind of does this number here, and then it kind of goes straight. And then it kind of juts in a little bit for Wisconsin. Let's draw the northwest angle here. It's about a third of the way across this bottom here, so we're gonna. All right, and then Minnesota kind of just really drops down. Okay, that's actually a pretty good Minnesota. Okay, let's see here. Wisconsin kind of does. Kind of that number there. And it kind of does something funny. drawing the rest of that UP later. Okay, and Louisiana kind of does. The eastern border actually kind of juts out into Mississippi a little bit, so we're going to do that. Okay, I probably made that a little too narrow, but alright, not bad of an Illinois there, actually. Let's see here. Get Indiana right. Okay, a little Kentucky there. I think it's a little too tall, but not too bad, actually. I've certainly done worse on that. Maybe a little too square in West Virginia, but not too bad. Everything's not too bad, that's what I always say. Okay, a little Georgia action here. Has a little wrinkly border with Alabama there. Before it kind of juts into Florida there a little bit. Okay, then it does kind of that with the coastline there. Okay. Let's see. North Carolina does touch it. I don't remember exactly how. All right, not bad on Florida there. Keys. Okay, let's see if I can get this northeast at least kind of right. I don't know in drawing New Jersey all these times if I've done more for the idea that Central Jersey does or doesn't exist. But anyways, let's see. Let's get a little Connecticut in there. New York's border should have slanted a little bit from Massachusetts, but we're in this. All right, New Hampshire's going to be fat. Oh yeah, let's not forget Michigan, huh? Let's not forget an entire state. Try to get this right here. I always miss this peninsula here somehow. Okay, so it keeps going for a little bit, and then it kind of drops down. Kind of like that. Probably made this whole thing a little bit too okay, and then Hawaii. Let's see if I can get kind of close. Okay. There we go. This might actually be my best one yet. North Carolina, Virginia, notwithstanding, they're a little fat. But I think like through like this part of the country, like this on west is actually really really good. Illinois, pretty good. Indiana, a little messy, but I think for the most, there's a lot of good things to look at on this one here. Texas is probably one of the best I've had it. Idaho and Montana are pretty solid as usual. Minnesota actually looks really good. I'm actually really, really happy with this one overall. I think I might stick to this projection if I can, and kind of try to get better from here. We'll keep working a little bit, do this for a few more days. I think, like I said, I'm probably gonna try to cut this off at about a month. I think really the improvements are getting a lot more incremental now, and so it's kind of it's not obvious that I'm getting that much better at this point. Arguably, like some days I'm getting worse, but yeah, we'll keep practicing some states and see if we can get this to be really really good by the end. But yeah, that's day 16. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.